all the Jedi.
This is where the fun begins.
Hello there. How's it going?
Hey everyone, Hybrid Toy Reviews here, and today we're taking a look at the Blade of Ochi of Bestoon. This is a D23 exclusive, one of 3,000 limited edition from the Galactic Archive series. This is one of the type of things you might find at Galaxy's Edge, like at Doc Ondar's at the park, except this was like a Shop Disney Online thing. I imagine this may find whatever's leftovers, may find their way to the park at some point. But it is a really, really cool replica from a really, really cool plot device used in Rise of Skywalker, one of my favorite Star Wars movies. So when I saw this one up, I had to have it. Let's take a look at the packaging and, of course, get into a review. Alright, here's the packaging, and it's got some really, really cool patterning going on. So it's in a matte black with a gloss black pattern where it's a bunch of like checker boxes with like hieroglyphs of like very recognizable Star Wars stuff. Like there's a Yoda, an X-Wing, a Boba helmet, a Rebel symbol, like Star Wars Rebels, Phoenix Squad, and then the Rebellion, Jedi. I mean, take a look at that, and it'll give you a great look at it. And there's a nice image of the blade with this glow effect going on here, really cool. Star Wars limited edition of 3,000 pieces, 14 plus Galactic Archive series, Blade of Ochi of Bestoon in varying languages, pause and read whichever applies best to you. Touch activated light up effect and display stand. This side of the box features some battery directions in a bag. That's interesting. And there's a barcode, some recycling your battery stuff, legal stuff in varying languages. This side of the box just features a Star Wars logo. This end, also a Star Wars logo. Top edge, also has a Star Wars logo. Around back, you see some different photos from the movie. God, Ochi could get it any day. There is a little blurb about the actual like product line, Star Wars Galactic Archive series. A bio about the knife in varying languages. Picture of the knife again on the stand. And it's just really, really cool. To unbox it, you can either cut the tape on the top or the bottom. I have cut the tape on the bottom. And inside, there is a black cardboard tray that pulls out, giving you a look at the knife, the included battery, and then underneath of it is the stand, and there's the legs of the stand there. So I'm going to get this completely out of the packaging and take a look at what we're getting here. Before we get to another review, I want to show you something that is truly kind of bizarre about this. So this runs off of a CR123A battery, which is one of these weird, it's a little fatter than a AA battery, but it's nowhere near as long. It's just not a common battery, at least here in the United States. I guess I can't speak for other parts of the world, but just a bizarre choice on a handle that's long enough to definitely take like a couple of AAA batteries, like at least two. Using this just feels like a really bizarre choice. To show you how the battery goes in, I'm not going to fully demonstrate, but you twist off the bottom of the pommel, and then you have to pull these screws to remove this entire cover, and then the battery goes inside there. I'm going to do that off camera, and then we'll get into a full review of working features. Alright, now that the Blade of Ochi is assembled and ready to be reviewed, let's go ahead and take a look. It displays very nicely on this base. I'm actually really satisfied with the appearance of it, and it does make for a excellent shelf piece. You look at it and it doesn't immediately scream Star Wars at you. It's kind of something cool you could put on the living room shelf, you know, outside of the collection room. People will be like, what's that? And then you get to tell them exactly how few women you get to talk to in your day-to-day life, and there's nothing wrong with that. But setting the Blade of Ochi off to the side, let's take a quick look at the stand. So the stand features a Sith emblem embossed in it. It's very, very glossy black. You can see my light reflecting off of that. And then there's a matte base surrounding it, which is really nice. Underneath, Galactic Archive series. Oh, it's actually numbered. This is 317 of 3,000. That's really cool. I didn't realize that. There are 6 felted feet, and the legs are actually swappable. So there's a narrow notch on that one and a wider notch on that one. And my intention with displaying it this way is the button will be facing me, while the effect, I'll spoil it when we get further into the review, but the retractable, you know, arch is up. However, if you wanted it to be down, well, I guess A, you could flip it, or if you wanted to flop which end the pommel was on, you could support them like so. They go on either side. There's no direction that's telling you that there's a right or a wrong way, so it's entirely on preference. Setting that in behind, let's take a look at the blade of Ochi. So this is actually really done well. Now, there are a couple little tells that kind of tell you, like, it's like a plastic toy, but it's really done well for a plastic toy. I guess to take a look at it, first down at the handle, excuse me, it has a little pommel there in silver. It's kind of got a little bit of a, not texture, but it's just not like super clean paint, you know? It's neatly done. It's made to look not brand new. And then it has a leather wrapped handle. It's all rubber, but it has a little squish when you grab it, and it feels good. And it's sculpted to look like lapped, like red leather with a lot of like dirt in it. You do see a bit of a line there, as I said, where that cap comes off. And that cap's also very difficult to realign. There we go. That was the easiest time I've had yet. But you can kind of see it, but it's also hidden well by there being a lot of sculpt. It doesn't immediately draw your eye, but once you kind of see it, you can't unsee it. Features a really cool kind of crossguard, and then the blade just features an insane amount of sculpt work on all these ancient Sith runes that the Republic said are unreadable. Good thing that we know a good droidsmith. But this is just incredibly well done. And then you have to have your Goonies moment in the movie. So you can pull out this piece on the side of the blade. It kind of catches. I've never been able to just get it to... Well, there we go. That was the cleanest I've gotten it yet. But just due to there being little notches and stuff in here, it kind of catches on the inside. So just got to be gentle with it. If it hangs up, give it a little wobble. Once it's out, it is very secure. There's a tiny little bit of wobble. That's just the nature of having tolerance. But a little bit of red paint on the tip there. It's painted gold very nicely. It's got notches. Kind of makes it look like a ruler of sorts. But I suppose it's a cartographer's tool in a way. And if you look through there, you can see where the Emperor's throne room is, which is really neat. But I don't know. I didn't hate this gimmick in the movie. I thought it was a neat and perfectly acceptable throwaway thing in a fantasy science fiction movie. And so I was all right with it. But now, to show you the light-up gimmick. Now, I'll say, it is not shown as being able to light up in the movie. So a little part of me is like, it's a gimmick. It's making it look like it's just a random toy. And you know what? I'll stand on that. I don't think that this needs electronics. It's like when you buy a Marvel Legends a Black Series Moff Gideon helmet, and they're just like, it's electronic. It has a blinking red LED inside the helmet. Like, at that point, remove the electronics, knock $20 off the price. Like you're really pushing it here. So that does not have to be out to show the electronic function, but if you're looking at the blade, you need that to be on the left side if you're looking at it face on, because there is no sensitivity on the other side. But to activate the functions, you see there's a little seam line right there. Above is dead, and below is touch contacting. So you have to make contact with your skin and hold for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And you see the blade glows up. And it looks really, really awesome. Now, it has a little bit of a pulsing effect going on. Now, that's light option number 1. Light option number 2, 1, 2, 3, hold again. Can't see it just snaps. Now it's just on, static, and red. And even on my well-lit review station, you can see just how much glow there is. So it looks really good. Now to completely turn it off, you have to 1, 2, 3 again. And now it's going to slowly dim out. I do like that slow dim out. Unfortunately, there's no way to turn it on pulse and then immediately go off, or turn it on to solid and then immediately go off. You have to cycle through the entire cycle. But that's okay. I do really, really like the effect, and I think that it worked out very well. Now, I'm going to cut for a second and knock down basically all of my lighting, and then I'll show you it in the dark. Alright, I turned off all the lighting except the cabinet lighting, which is fairly dim. Turning it back on. 1, 2, 3. There we go. You can see it's pulsing now. It looks really, really cool. and then going on to dead static on. There. That's just on solid now. You know, I'm not sure, because like pulsing goes dimmer, which would use less power, but I would also assume the act of cycling also is using power. So I don't know what one would actually kill the battery faster, and since they only include one, I'm not gonna buy batteries to kill testing it here. But there we have it shutting all the way off. Yeah, that's really cool. Ordinarily, as an action figure reviewer, I like to do a size comparison, and this is kind of a bizarre item to do a size comparison with. But I'm going to do my best, just using some replica type items that I have around. This is a Black Series Count Dooku lightsaber, as you see from basically tip to end of claw. The end of claw is just a touch longer on the Dooku saber. All of the metal credits are from Hyperspace Props. Check out that review. It came out March of 23 or May of 23. It was a ICCC 23 pickup. One of those 3D printed bounty hunter trackers that you see on Etsy a lot. Same with some Mon Calamari flan. But I can only pay half. So at the end of the day, what do I think of the D23 exclusive Blade of Ochi of Bestoon? I think this is pretty cool. Look, it might not be a prop that's near and dear to everyone's heart, but I love this movie. I love this kind of gimmick when it happens in movies, and it is just a well-done replica. It blends the line of replica and toy a little bit, but even though it doesn't feature lights in the movie, man, it just looks cool. It's just one of those just really neat shelf pieces. One of the things that scares me the most about the concept of going to Galaxy's Edge is they have things like the statues that Sidious has in his office in the prequel trilogy and stuff, and I am a nut for random background world building type props. You know, lightsabers are fun and holocrons are fun, and I love those too, don't get me wrong, but just this is scratching an itch that I love getting scratched in a way that like the Hyperspace Props credits as just like, it's so cool, no one makes these. And I have a box full of some similar stuff, pipelining upcoming video, but Kylo's Creations is sending me a couple of things that you can only get in Galaxy's Edge, like the chance cubes and such, and just I am here for world building type things. So keep an eye out for those kinds of videos coming up. But yeah, it's just an insane replica, and I'm super happy to have it. And as of tonight, which is Thursday, the 15th of August, I believe it's still in stock, but it's one of 3,000. So you better just go ahead and try and snag it if you're interested. The longer you wait, the more likely you are to miss out on it. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Thanks for watching. It means a lot that you did. If you enjoyed, just leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the end of video stuff. I'll catch you next time. Until then, may the Force be with each and every one of you, and goodbye.